You're listening to Speak English with Chat.
On Chat English. Welcome back to Chat English, where we help you speak naturally, without the textbook stress.
Today, we are going to burn your rigorous study plan because it's actually the reason you keep quitting.
It's 7:30 p.m. You've had a long day at work. You look at your English book on the table, and your brain just shuts down. You want to study, but physically, you just can't.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. I usually tell myself I'll do it tomorrow morning, but deep down, I know I'm lying to myself.
Exactly. So today, we're fixing that with the low energy menu. 3 ways to improve your English when you have zero motivation to study.
I love the sound of this already. A low energy menu? It sounds like ordering takeout, but for learning.
That is exactly the vibe we are going for. Because here's the truth, Dan. Most learners think that if they are not sweating, they are not learning. They think English requires 100% focus, a quiet room, and a highlighter pen.
Guaranteed. That is how I was taught in school. If you aren't suffering, you aren't memorizing.
But the problem is, life happens. You have a deadline at work, your kids are sick, or you just had a terrible commute. When you have high energy, sure, open the textbook. But when you have low energy,
You do nothing. You skip it.
you skip it. And then what happens the next day?
You feel guilty. The guilt is the worst part. It sits on your shoulder. You look at the book and think, I failed yesterday, so I need to do double today.
And because you have to do double, it feels even harder, so you skip it again.
It is a vicious cycle. I call it the shame spiral.
Exactly. And the only way to break the shame spiral is to have a plan for those bad days. We need to stop trying to be the rabbit.
The rabbit?
You know the story of the tortoise and the hare? The rabbit runs super fast, then falls asleep. The tortoise just keeps walking slowly.
Right. Slow and steady wins the race.
Most English learners are rabbits. They study for 3 hours on Sunday, burn out, and then do nothing until next Sunday.
I am definitely guilty of that. I will have a burst of motivation, download 3 apps, watch 5 videos, and then silence for 2 weeks.
That is rabbit mode. Today we are teaching you turtle mode. We are going to give you permission to be lazy.
Music to my ears. So what is the first item on this low energy menu?
The first item is called the input swap.
The input swap. Okay, break it down for me.
So usually when you want to practice listening, what do?
I try to find a podcast for learners, or maybe the news in English, something educational.
And that takes focus, right? You have to pay attention to new words, understand the grammar.
Yeah, it is work. My brain has to be on.
On a low energy day, your brain is off. So if you try to listen to the news, you will just zone out. You won't hear anything.
That is true. It just becomes noise.
So the input swap is this. Instead of trying to learn something new, you consume something you already know perfectly.
What do you mean by know perfectly?
I mean a movie, a TV show, or a book that you have seen or read in your native language 10 times. Something where you know every scene, every joke, and every plot twist.
Oh, I see. Like for me, that would be the sitcom Friends. I have seen every episode probably 20 times.
Perfect example. So on a low energy day, you put on Friends in English. But here is the key. You turn off the subtitles in your language. You can have English subtitles if you want, or no subtitles at all.
But wait, if I'm tired, won't I just get lost?
No, because you already know what happens. You know Ross is about to say something awkward. You know Joey doesn't share food. Your brain doesn't have to work to understand the story.
Ah, that is smart. So my brain is free to just focus on the sounds.
Exactly. Since the what is happening part of your brain is relaxed, the how are they saying it part can actually wake up. You start noticing the rhythm, the intonation, and the small phrases. It's like comfort food listening. It is comfort food listening. You are still getting English input. You are still hearing the rhythm of the language, but there is zero stress.
I like that. It feels like cheating, but it's actually helpful.
It is not cheating. It is maintenance. You are keeping the English engine running without revving it up to high speed.
I suppose it also helps with the guilt, because you are doing something in English.
Precisely. You can go to bed thinking, I didn't study hard, but I did spend 20 minutes with English today. That keeps the streak alive.
Okay, I'm sold on the input swap. I'm going to rewatch some old action movies tonight. What is the second item on the menu?
The second item is for when you feel like you should produce some English, writing or speaking, but you just cannot face a grammar exercise.
Oh, those are the hardest days. Speaking requires so much energy.
It does, so we use the one-sentence rule.
Just one sentence?
Just one, but it has to be a specific kind of sentence. You are going to capture the essence of your day.
Give me an example.
Okay, imagine you get home. You are exhausted. You sit on the sofa. Instead of opening a journal and writing a page, you just ask yourself, what made me so tired today? And you answer in one English sentence, out loud or writing it down. Either one, speaking it into your phone.
Voice memo is great because it is fast. Writing it in your notes app is also fine.
Okay, let's try this. If I look back at my day today, honestly, the traffic was terrible.
Great. So translate that feeling into one English sentence.
The traffic was a nightmare and it drained my energy.
Perfect. That took you what, 5 seconds?
Less, 3 seconds.
And you are done. You have practiced English today.
Really? That counts?
It counts because you had to access your vocabulary, structure a sentence, and produce it. That is a rep. It is like doing one push-up. It is infinitely better than doing 0 push-ups.
I guess it forces you to think in English, even for a microsecond.
Yes. And usually once you say one sentence, you might think of another one. The traffic was a nightmare. I wish I had taken the train. Now you have done 2.
It's the momentum thing. Starting is the hardest part.
Exactly. The one sentence rule lowers the barrier to entry. If I tell you write an essay, you will say no. If I tell you say one sentence, you say okay, fine.
It's a mental trick.
It is a mental trick, and it works. Let's actually practice this right now with our listeners. We are going to do a pause and reply.
Oh, I love these. So you give them a prompt and they have to answer out loud?
Yes, even if you are on the train or walking, just whisper it. I want you to think about your day right now. I'm going to ask you a question. Answer it in just one sentence.
Ready.
Here's the question. What was the best thing you ate today? Pause. Go ahead, say it. Dan, what is your answer?
The coffee I had this morning was incredibly strong and perfect.
Nice, incredibly strong. Good use of an adverb there.
See, I feel productive already.
And listeners, whatever you said, I ate a sandwich. My dinner was spicy. You won't believe how much that matters. You kept the connection to English open.
I think the key here is not judging the sentence, right? Like, it doesn't have to be poetic.
No, it can be, I am tired. That is a valid English sentence. The point is habit, not perfection.
I like this low energy menu. It's very forgiving.
We have to be forgiving. If you are a perfectionist, you will quit. If you are forgiving, you will keep going for years. That is how you get fluent.
It reminds me of going to the gym. Sometimes you just go and stretch for 10 minutes. You don't lift heavy every day.
Exactly. And the days you just stretch are important because they prevent injury. This is the same for your brain.
So we have the input swap, watching familiar stuff. We have the one sentence rule. What is the third item?
The third item is brain dead listening.
Brain dead listening. That sounds unappealing.
It sounds bad, but it is a lifesaver. This is for when you are doing chores, washing dishes, folding laundry, commuting, and you literally cannot focus on anything.
So how is this different from the input swap?
With the input swap, you are watching a story. With brain dead listening, you are using audio to create an immersion bubble, but you are not trying to understand it.
Wait, if I'm not trying to understand it, what is the point?
The point is the rhythm and the sounds. You put on a podcast, maybe one that is a little too advanced for you, or just native speakers chatting fast, and you treat it like background music.
Like white noise?
Like English noise. You let the intonation patterns wash over you. You are washing the dishes, thinking about your work, but your ears are picking up the stress, the rise and fall of the voices.
So it's passive exposure.
It is extremely passive, but your subconscious is getting data. It is hearing how sentences connect. It is hearing the music of English.
And I don't have to panic if I miss a word?
You don't have to panic if you miss the whole 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. The goal is just to have English in your environment.
I actually do this sometimes with talk radio in Spanish. I don't understand half of it, but I feel like I get used to the speed.
Exactly. You are calibrating your ears to the speed of native speakers. And the best part? It takes 0 mental energy. You are going to wash the dishes anyway.
So you are layering English on top of a dead time.
Yes. And again, it signals to your brain, English is part of my life. Not English is a special subject I study at a desk, but English is just the sound of my house.
I think that shift is huge. English is just the sound of my house. That makes it feel less like a chore and more like, I don't know, a lifestyle?
That is the goal. Fluency isn't a test you pass, it is a lifestyle you live. And sometimes life is tired.
Life is very tired.
So let's review our menu. When you are at 10% battery, what do?
You grab the input swap, watch Friends, or
Harry Potter again. When you have 20% battery and need to output,
The one-sentence rule. Just capture the moment.
and when you are at 0% battery and doing chores.
Brain-dead listening. Just let the English wash over you.
Perfect. And I want to talk about one more thing, Dan. The vocabulary of giving up.
Oh yeah, we have some good phrases for this.
Because when people feel lazy, they often use very negative language about themselves. They say, I failed, or I am lazy.
I'm useless. I have said that one.
We need to swap that vocabulary too. Instead of saying, I quit for the day, say, I am calling it a day.
I'm calling it a day. I like that. It sounds professional.
It is. It means I am finished working now. It is a decision, not a failure. I'm tired, so I'm calling it a day.
It gives you control back. You are the boss deciding to stop.
Exactly. Another good one is I'm going to let myself off the hook.
Oh, that is a classic idiom, to let someone off the hook.
Imagine a fish on a hook. It is trapped. If you let it off the hook, you free it.
So if I say I'm going to let myself off the hook, I am saying I am going to stop punishing myself.
Yes, I didn't study for an hour, and that is okay. I am letting myself off the hook.
It is about forgiveness. I'm not going to beat myself up.
Beat myself up. That is another great one, meaning to criticize yourself effectively.
So I am not going to beat myself up about missing my lesson. I am just going to call it a day.
Look at that natural flow. You are using the vocab perfectly.
It feels good to say it. It feels like a relief.
And that is what we want. We want English to feel like a relief, not a burden. Because if it is a burden, you will drop it.
I think a lot of our listeners struggle with this perfectionism. They think it has to be perfect or nothing.
The all or nothing mentality. It is the enemy of progress.
It really is. I remember when I tried to learn guitar, I thought I had to practice an hour a day.
And how long did that last?
About 3 weeks. Then I missed a day, felt bad, missed another day, and now my guitar is just a decoration in my living room.
A very expensive decoration.
Very expensive.
But if you had said, I will just pick up the guitar and strum one chord a day, you might still be playing.
I definitely would be. I would probably be pretty good by now.
It is the same with English. The one-sentence people are the ones who become fluent. The 1 hour or nothing people are the ones who quit.
That is a powerful thought. The one-sentence people win.
Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to say, if this low-energy approach is resonating with you, if you are feeling that relief we talked about, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We don't just teach grammar here. We teach you the mindset to actually use the grammar.
Yeah, and we have a lot more episodes coming up about how to fit English into a busy life. So join us.
Okay, back to the menu. I want to address a common question. Is it possible to be too lazy?
Ah, the danger zone. Can you get stuck in turtle mode forever?
That is a valid fear. If you only ever do brain-dead listening for 6 months, will you improve?
You probably won't improve much. You will maintain, but you won't grow.
Exactly. The low-energy menu is a survival kit. It is for the bad days. It is not the whole diet.
So on the days when you do have energy, you should still do the focused work.
Yes, when you wake up on a Saturday morning feeling fresh and had your coffee, that is when you open the textbook or take a lesson.
But on Tuesday night after a crisis meeting, use the menu.
Precisely. It is about matching your method to your energy level.
I think that is what advanced learners do intuitively. They don't force it.
They listen to their bodies. If you are exhausted, your brain isn't retaining information anyway. You are just staring at words.
You are just going through the motions.
Going through the motions, meaning doing the action without any real engagement.
That is the worst way to learn. It is a waste of time.
So by using the low energy menu, you are actually being more efficient. You are saying, right now, I am only capable of maintenance, so I will do maintenance.
And you save the heavy lifting for when you are strong.
Exactly. Now, I want to practice one more grammar point that often comes up with excuses.
Oh, I love a good grammar connection.
It is the third conditional,
The third conditional, the grammar of regret.
or the grammar of excuses. If I had had more time, I would have studied.
If I hadn't been so tired, I would have done my homework.
Exactly.
We use this to explain why we didn't do something in the past.
Structure is if plus had, past perfect, then would have plus the participle.
Correct. If I had known about the low energy menu, I wouldn't have quit.
Ooh, nice example. If I hadn't used the one sentence rule, I would have kept my streak.
Let's try a few more. Imagine you missed your study session yesterday because you had a headache. How do you say that?
If I hadn't had a headache, I would have studied.
Perfect. Now, imagine you missed it because you worked late.
If I hadn't worked late, I would have finished the chapter.
Listeners, try one with us. Imagine you didn't practice because your phone died.
Good one.
If my phone hadn't died, finish the sentence.
If my phone hadn't died, I would have practiced.
Excellent. Now, the trick is to stop using the third conditional for excuses and start using the first conditional for plans.
Oh, shifting from the past to the future.
Instead of if I hadn't been tired, say if I am tired tonight, I will use the one sentence rule. That is proactive. If I feel burnout coming, I will watch Friends. If I can't focus, I will do brain dead listening.
You are making a plan for the obstacle before it happens.
That is the secret to consistency. Expect the obstacle. Expect to be tired.
Because you will be tired. That is a guarantee in adult life.
Adult life is basically just being tired in different locations.
That should be on a t-shirt. Adult life, being tired in different locations.
And speaking English while doing it.
And speaking English while doing it, ideally.
We have covered a lot today. We talked about breaking the shame spiral. We gave you the 3 menu items. We practiced the third conditional.
And we learned some great vocab like burnout, call it a day, and let myself off the hook.
I want to ask you, Dan, which item on the menu are you actually going to use this week? Be honest.
Honestly, the one sentence rule, because I often have thoughts in my head, but I don't articulate them. I think just saying one thing out loud to myself will help me feel like I am still a French learner.
I love that. For me, it is the brain dead listening. I have a lot of cleaning to do this weekend, so I'm going to put on a podcast and just let it play.
Nice. And for everyone listening, we've put this whole low energy menu into a simple PDF for you.
It's linked right in the description. You can save it to your phone, so next time you feel that heavy, tired feeling at 7 p.m., you don't have to think. You just open the PDF and pick one thing.
It's like an emergency kit. Break glass in case of laziness.
Exactly. Grab that link.
Before we go, Alice, I have a question for the listeners.
Let's hear it.
I want to know about their excuses.
Ooh, we are getting personal.
Yes, we all have that one thing we tell ourselves. I'm too busy. I'm too old. I'm too tired.
So the question is, what excuse do you usually give yourself when you skip studying?
But let's use the phrase we learned. Start your comment with, I tell myself that.
Ooh, good prompt. I tell myself that I don't have time, or I tell myself that I will do it on the weekend.
Be honest. We read all the comments and we have heard every excuse in the book. You won't shock us.
In fact, writing your excuse down is the first step to destroying it. Once you see it on the screen, you realize, wait, that's not really true.
I tell myself I'm too tired, but I just watched TikTok for 2 hours.
Ouch, called out.
Guilty as charged.
So leave that comment below. We love seeing your honesty.
And remember, consistency doesn't mean intensity. It just means not stopping.
The turtle wins the race, not because he is fast, but because he never stops walking.
Be the turtle.
Be the turtle. Thanks for chatting with us today.
See you in the next one.
Bye.